Hello! How do we do? Oh goodness, hold on, I can hear myself. I have myself on another tab. No. Hi everybody! How's everyone doing today? Sorry, I let the timer run on 0 for a little while. I was logging into Twitch on Streamlabs because I had to relog a couple times to reset some things. But I hope we're having a good day today. My brain is off. I feel all over the place. I feel very out of it. But we're here for we're here for stream. I have a pretty little flower mug today, or I guess fruit mug. And we have plenty of sippies. We're just gonna have a good time today. I don't really have a set plan for what we're doing today. It's more of just kind of a hang out and chat about whatever happens to come up. And so, yeah. Hold on. I need to close my door. For the aesthetic. Can't be having no open doors. You'll see my piles of clothing everywhere. That'd be no good. Yeah, so in today's lovely world of world building, we have a couple fun things going on. It's almost April, and so that means we have actually not one but 2 challenges on the horizon. One of them is an official challenge from World Anvil. The other is an unofficial challenge from a World Anvilite, which actually I'm going to be judging. Very fun. Let me introduce you guys to it. We see here Artisan April. I thought myself a little qualified to judge this one, considering I think that the map that I made would actually be like a great fit for this challenge. So if someone were to make something of that type, it would be like a perfect fit for this challenge. And so, yeah. But yes, Artisan April. This is a challenge created by one Oster 2000. I hope that's like the correct way to pronounce that, by the way. Yes, an artisan is a worker in a skilled trade, especially one that involves making things by hand. Welcome to this challenge. Now, some of you may instantly fear the challenge as soon as you see the title. Ah, I can't do art. Well, the main priority of this challenge is to make it accessible to all. Hence, we're using the idea of an artisan from above, the idea of a worker in a skilled trade. Hence, I recommend that you read the challenge. Over the course of 14 days, the challenge is to create an original work in any medium that is directly a part of your world. Now, there are many things that could possibly be made. Some examples include an animation showing a major event, a portrait of a famous person, a landscape of a natural disaster, an anatomical drawing of a creature's form, a map of a local area, a short story written by a bard, a physical spell scroll, a piece of woodwork handcrafted as a toy, etc. So there's a lot of options here. And as for the judges, let's see, so we have 4 lovely judges who will be going through the content and picking out some winners, though everyone will be a winner for taking part. First and foremost, there is myself, this being Oster, who has been a GM for several years and an active TTRPG designer. And joining Oster in this will be several award-winning world builders. Ah, what a way to be introduced. Annie Stein, CSS wizard and creator of Solaris. I was on World Anvil's stream the other day with Annie. Absolute delight. Katoblapon, master crafter of spreadsheets and creator of Shattered. And Paulina Lionartive, that's me. Illustrator and streamer and creator of Malcora. Wow! And there's a little note here. Please check out all the judges' worlds and content. They are amazing people and creators. Thank you. Yes, each of the judges will pick an independent winner, and then we all join together to pick an overall winner, the number 1. Judging will take place from 0 o'clock on the 15th of April to at latest the 30th of April. Winners will be announced through another article, and individuals will be contacted to receive their prizes. It will be judged on the following criteria of creativity. Does the piece feel inspired? Does it have that extra flair? Or presentation? How well is the article presented? Can we get an idea of how the thing works that you've made? And integration. How well does the piece fit into the article and vice versa? Yes, so everyone who participates is going to get a little badge that they can plop onto their article, their profiles. And the judge's pick will get a special badge and a bookmark designed by Oster with the badge on it. And the overall winner will also get a specialized badge and a bookmark with the badge on it. And they'll also get a voice recording of their article. It's very fun. So yes, if you were to participate in this, you could create your submission, work on it in April through the 14th. So that is the kind of submission deadlines, the 14th of April. And all pieces of work must be accompanied by an article of at least 50 words, describing how the piece exists and works within the world. So the focus here is on actually making a thing. You're making a thing or designing a thing or anything like this. Oh, Thoughtless Jay, hello, thank you for following. I'm very excited to see a follow come through because Streamlabs has not been showing followers for like the past week. And I only discovered this because I checked like my my dashboard on Twitch, like actually on Twitch, and it's like, wait, I got all these followers like on my last streams and I just didn't even know because I never got an alert. Oh, you're a bot. Never mind, I'm less excited. Yo. Out of here. Oh my gosh, I don't have mod tools turned on. Hold on. Yeah, we don't need that. Get out of here. Dang it, you guys, I got these followers and I get so excited, and then they're bots. No thank you. But anyway, yeah, so the whole point of this challenge is to make a thing. So it's not about the article, it's not about the writing, it's about the thing that you create. And then you go and make the article that describes how this thing works in your world. How it exists, how it comes to be, why it's there, what it's used for, etc. All that kind of stuff. Yes. Place your submissions in the comments of this article, which I will grab and link. Let me just grab the title as well. Artisan April. There we go. For anybody watching, that is the little challenge there. So yes, if you are interested in another challenge in addition to Adventure April next month, go ahead and check out Artisan April. we got the A theme going on here. Got Artisan April, Adventure April. It'll be a lot of fun. On the topic of Adventure April, I don't have an article for it that I can show. I mean, it may exist elsewhere. Like, I could maybe grab a previous year and we can see kind of how the challenge works and what it is. Because I have actually never participated in Adventure April before. That's just not something I've done. But it seems like a lot of fun. So I'll just go ahead and I will grab the event page for last year's Adventure April and we can just kind of look at it and see what was done in the past. So here we go. Boom. Adventure April. It's time for adventure. Flex those one-shot muscles and prepare for some epic encounters in your world. So yes, this is a yearly challenge that comes around and you create a one-shot, essentially. Yes, this month we challenge you to write a one-shot RPG adventure. Yeah, so this year's version is going to be announced on Saturday during World Anvil's stream. Very cool, very exciting. I have all these gears turning in my brain about what adventures I may potentially write for this. But yeah, we don't know. But look at these fun badges. I actually never I never looked at these before. I don't think I was like active at the time that these were made or, you know, shared around. Yes, the got the teeth, got the leaves. Very adventurous. Yeah, I don't know, let's I don't know if it's gonna link like the winners in here. It linked the people, but not the winners. I guess I can just search for them. Look at Emily's. Oh, I do at least remember watching some of the streams where they went over the winners and like talked about the articles themselves. But yes, we had, oh gosh, I'm opening things that I don't mean to open. So we have Emily Armstrong was the winner of this challenge in the Standard League, and we had River Fang win the Premier League. Aha, with exhibition at the Volon Rue. So let's see. Last year's Adventure April winners. Here, of course, we have Emily Armstrong with A Night at the Gala, a Becketville one-shot. Yes, this is a system-agnostic one-shot. Want to play by yourself? Check out the solo here, and there's a little link to, I assume, is the system. Or let's see. Ah. So this is like, this I assume is a version of the article that's intended for solo play. Yes, a single player FYF, including introducing you to the oddities taking place within Beckett Suites. Yeah, we're just gonna take a look at what this article is, how it's laid out, and how it all works. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've never written a one-shot before. And half of the one-shots that I have played, have been involved with, turn into campaigns. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have a lot of experience with like one-shots. Alright, we have sections that are player-friendly and GM only. Kind of give that separation of information. If you want to run the game, GM info is for you. If you want to play the game only, player info there. Yes, it is the night of the Grand Festival Gala, and something is ruining the party. Strange spills, audio system glitches, broken furniture, and devious smells threaten to drive away all high society Beckettville citizens. As Beckett Suites employees, it is your duty to make sure everything is up to President Hiram Beckett's expectations. Will the party be saved, or will your employees face expulsion to the unspoken zone? So hold on, let me just grab this all for you guys. I'm gonna drop the link into the chat. For anyone who wants to have a little peep themselves at a later time. But yes. We have this little, I do like that hovering over this kind of like, it jostles this a little bit, this quote window. But yes, good evening, our most beloved citizens of Beckettville. Welcome to this season's festival gala. Tonight we have a delectable dinner and dessert provided by Brandy's Bar, and phenomenal jazz music by our own Marty Davis Quintet. Don't forget to stick around for the lottery at the end of the night. Special inspections begin tomorrow, so be on your best behavior. Most of all, enjoy all that our glorious city provides. An address by President Hiram Beckett. Very fun. And I do love this this festival poster, and look at this. With the new image update on World Anvil, I can like click on this and have it big to show everybody. The Festival Gala, June 8th, 8 p.m. Tickets, 1,500 credits. I'm assuming that's what the C stands for. Yes, welcome to Beckettville. Beckettville is the last standing city in Middle America after the extinction event. Led by the Hiram Beckett Company and President Hiram Beckett, the citizens of Beckettville are perfectly happy and healthy as long as they remain inside the city. And so this is an introduction to the setting. And a city saved. During the extinction event, over 99% of the human population was destroyed by the mysterious mist and ooze. Locals were able to flee Beckettville for safety, but only the true believers were saved. The great deity Delorum and their prophet Hiram Beckett. For the last 2 centuries, President Beckett has kept Beckettville safe and secure from threat. The Hiram Beckett Company. The Hiram Beckett Company is currently the world's largest company by revenue, as well as the world's largest private employer, holding this position for over 2 centuries. Led by the illustrious Hiram Beckett, or is it Hiram? I think it might actually be Hiram. Well, the citizens of Beckettville are provided all they need by his great company through subsidiaries like Beckco and Bits. And the Beckett Suites. Beckett Suites has been a highlight of the Beckettville skyline since the 1920s. Currently the tallest tower in the city, Beckett Suites stands at 47 stories, with 43 operating and available for public use. Built and decorated in Art Deco style, the hotel hosts high society and lavish events, including the Festival Gala, held twice a year. And so, thus we have employment at Beckett Suites. The employees. This is oh my gosh, I'm dying. Ooh. This adventure was written for 2 to 4 players, but extra characters are given in case of death or additional players. Some roles cover similar skills, so be sure you have a well-formed team to tackle this adventure. If you need to create more characters, keep in mind the most useful skills will be centered around social and investigation. So that's a good little tidbit, and of course here we have 6 different, I'm going to say classes, that you can choose from. The AV Tech. The AV Tech loves their job. Despite the many events at Beckett Suites, they very rarely need to update the sound and lighting setting and get to spend the entire event sneaking drinks and dinner from the buffet, while ignoring the stuffy guests. If they want to keep their cushy job and events, they need the gala to go smoothly. TTRPG specific suggestions. D&D, intelligence or dex based. COC, hacker. I think that's Call of Cthulhu? So each of these comes with like a little, little suggestion, like if you're familiar with D&D, like this is the archetype that you're picking right now, which I think is fun. There's the bartender. The bartender has been working at Beckett Suites for nearly 2 years. They've just received their first accolade from their superior and are looking forward to becoming the lead bartender someday. They've been given the opportunity to debut their original cocktail recipe at the gala as long as everything goes to plan. And this would be your charisma, dex, or wisdom-based character. I saw you link the challenge. Yeah, I introduced the challenge. I was talking about it a little bit. I was kind of hyping it up. I don't know if many people were here to see the hypening, but that's okay. But hello, Oster, welcome. I'm currently looking through some of the past submissions for Adventure April, which we know is coming up. And I'm looking through Emily Armstrong's winning article, A Night at the Gala, Beckettville one-shot. We're currently looking at like the playable characters you can be. We looked at the AV Tech, we looked at the bartender, and now there's the bellhop. Yeah, spending their first few years as security at Beckett Park, the bellhop was reassigned after an accidental death occurred on their watch. Now stationed at Beckett Suites in a newly assigned role, the bellhop wishes to wipe away the stain and prove that they can still protect the city of Beckettville. And your D&D equivalent would be a dex or strength-based character, and Call of Cthulhu, you'd be a boxer. Let's see, we have the housekeeper, we have security, and we have the server. The housekeeper. Caretakers are the lifeblood of Beckett Suites. The caretaker has been an employee for over 6 years and believes they know the hotel like the back of their hand. They're aided in accommodations for the last 9 galas and will be receiving their pin of service after tonight's party, if it happens. Your D&D equivalent would be the charisma, dexterity, or wisdom-based character. In Call of Cthulhu, you might be a butler or a maid. The security. The security has spent their youth dreaming of becoming an Archon. It was a bit of a blow to their ego when they were given a security job at Beckett Suites instead. They firmly believe that if they keep the gala safe, they will be noticed by their superiors and be given a second chance. And this is your dexterity or strength-based character. Call of Cthulhu, you'd be a soldier. And the server. The newest employee of Beckett Suites, the server has only had 2 nights of training before the gala. They believe it might be a staffing error that they are even here, and have decided everything must run as smooth as possible to avoid the mistake falling on their shoulders. This is a charisma or dexterity-based character. In Call of Cthulhu, you'd be a waiter. And now here it says players are prohibited beyond this point, so this means that it's all DM information. So, I am going to read it. So if you wanted to be a player of this Beckettville one-shot, I do apologize, there's going to be many spoilers. Yes, see, cognito hazards lie ahead. Serious spoilers for Beckettville and a night at the gala below. Proceed with caution. Orange exclamation boxes are to be read aloud or paraphrased, so little game master stuff. Yes, managing Beckett Suites. The employees of Beckett Suites are compliant and easy to manipulate, work with. If you need a filler NPC at any time, feel free to make your own. If employees step out of line, they are warned with a short holiday in the neighborhoods to remind them how wonderful Beckettville is. Extreme insubordination is dealt with via expulsion to the unspoken zone. Beckett Suites has standard hotel staffing in addition to a security force of archons, our friendly neighborhood peace officers. Beckettville citizens come in all sizes, shapes, and colors, but they all have one thing in common: utmost loyalty to President Hiram Beckett and their deity Delorum. Anything less is insubordination. Uncovering the culprit. Upper management are well aware of the creature running loose in Beckett Suites, but are under strict non-disclosure not to discuss it with anyone. Some low-level staff hold superstitions and personal beliefs about the current situation, but do not know exactly what is going on. The creature has left a trail of ooze and items around the map as it evades security. Please check all maps of GM-only overlays and carefully read all cues before gameplay. And thus, a night at the gala begins, and here's the setup. We have the Grand Ballroom. The Beckett Suites. The height of class in Beckettville. Many pray to the almighty Delorum for the opportunity to step foot in this beautiful establishment. You are one of the honored individuals given the chance to work here. Unfortunately, you've noticed oddities throughout your day. Dirty, broken dishes in the sink, doors left ajar, lights blinking out. You assume it's the additional stress of the festival gala tonight. You have all but given up your day at the festival to volunteer at the biggest event of the year. Why, thank you. I have been talking for a while, haven't I? Oh, sippy. Yeah, this is awesome description. I'm a huge fan of this. Gathering in the Grand Ballroom for a debriefing with your peers, you get to look upon the grandeur in the moments before the excitement. Dark hardwood floors, inlaid with intricate mosaic designs, sit against ornate plaster and limestone arches that support the wraparound mezzanine. The true spectacle of the Grand Ballroom crowns the space, an elegant, Baroque-inspired mosaic depicting the symbol of Delorum stretching across half the ceiling. You stand in awe of the space, chattering amongst yourselves for a few minutes, before the lights flickering out. The sound of running boots, shouts, and furniture being tossed crash around you. As the Grand Manager turns the lights back on, you see the once immaculate room is now in disarray. Tables have been flipped, chairs are strewn across the dance floor, and a few employees have been knocked to the ground. Woohoo! And here we see, for a map of the Grand Ballroom, please see Foyer map in part 1. Okay, where is that? Is that above somewhere? I don't know where I'm looking. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, part 1 here, haha. It's below. I see. The players are free to begin searching for clues in the Grand Ballroom, but the NPCs are quick to remind them and finish resetting the room as instructed. Most are hesitant to discuss anything more than setup and about their jobs during the gala, but a group of 3 seem more shaken than the others. If approached, players with a successful investigation check will notice the NPCs have black stains where they were shoved by something. Ooh. And these 3 are described. Here's the maintenance worker, the custodian, and the server. So I think already we can see why this was chosen as a winner last year. There's so much information and so much detail. It's all these awesome descriptions and different like types of characters that you can be. They've introduced them all. And these NPCs as well. Maintenance worker leaves a recent string of strange events as a vengeful spirit trapped in the hotel. This is a common rumor through the hotel, and many believe there are a number of ghosts roaming the halls. They can let the players know their spirit ran off towards the lobby. Custodian believes the entire incident is a poor practical joke by a disgruntled employee. They know a member of kitchen staff was causing a bit of a stir the other day, and they think this was a stunt after they were fired by the hotel. They are angry that they have to clean the employee's room out later due to the excessive mess. And the server believes the strange events are a test from Delorum. If they can still throw the perfect festival gala, they are worthy of his blessings. If not, they will be struck down for their failures. They can tell the players that praying at the clock may offer them safety in troubled times. Very fun. We have the superstitious one, we have the pessimist, and we have the religious one. And thus we have part 1. And don't you worry, my friends, we are not even halfway done with this article. There's a lot of good stuff in here. So in part 1 we have Brandy's bar and kitchen. The smell of spices, cooking meat, and whiskey fill the air as you enter Brandy's bar. Waitstaff are busy setting up tables and places for dinner, and there's a loud ruckus from the kitchen as food is being prepared. Both the bar and kitchen are busy preparing for the night, and most NPCs won't stop to chat. The head chef will try to kick the party out of the kitchen, but will stop to talk and scold them a bit first. And we have the head chef. Gourmand Ramsley is also a big name at Beckett Sweets, and the celebrity chef of Beckettville. He doesn't have time for distractions and mistakes. 2 days ago, he fired a line cook for insubordination, but isn't sure what happened after security escorted them out. I love that. Gourmand Ramsley. Ah. Let's see, we can open this map in full size. Very cool. Let's see, do we got, okay, labels, player friendly. We have the lounge. I think it's, some of them have info, some of them don't. The Beckett Suite clock. This vintage clock has been with the hotel since the exhibition for a more unified tomorrow. It depicts notable Beckett families through generations. Concierge desk, the lounge, the grand ballroom. The jewel of Beckett Suites, the grand ballroom is host to grand events throughout the year. It is often rented out for performances and large parties. Of course, we have the kitchen, we have Brandy's bar. Created by Brandy Beckett, Brandy's bar is one of the finest restaurants in Beckettville. Selling their own specially prepared whiskey and gin, the bar encourages high society citizens of the city spend their Friday nights sipping top quality drinks and dining on Gourmand Ramsley's fine cuisine. And now we rub our little mischief hands together as we turn on the GM only layer. And we see the clues. Yes, I will leave the clues to everyone else's exploration on their own time. Let's just keep reading. Let's learn more about this adventure. The foyer. The front desk and concierge. The beautiful mahogany and gold front desk is run by a clean-cut attendant in a blue pantsuit. Papers are neatly stacked to the side against a board of key cards. By the side wall is a smaller matching desk. Oh my gosh, words. Is a smaller matching desk staffed by a concierge, currently printing gala tickets for guests. So we have the front desk attendant. The front desk attendant strongly dislikes their job, but does their best to hide it behind a sarcastically fake smile. They have the key cards for individual rooms. The concierge has been working at the hotel for nearly a decade. They are irritatingly cheerful and are known for bending the rules if buttered up a bit. They have the key cards for the garage. And Fred. Fred is a long-term resident of Beckett Suites, currently wandering around the lobby. He's well known by the staff for being incredibly friendly and observant. He'll tell the party he's noticed more security around than last year. Very fun. The players are free to investigate the first floor in any order, but it is likely they will check Brandy's bar first. I like that little note. And so in part 2, Floor 23. Floor 23 seems completely normal. A strange silence hangs in the air for a moment before it's broken by the sound of boots coming in your direction. 4 Archons patrol Floor 23. The Archons will leave if they believe there are problems elsewhere, or the players can attempt to stealth their way to room 2313. Ooh. And yes, room 2313. Room 2313 would be a beautiful, luxurious living space were it not for the striking trail of black muck coating the floor before you. The faint smell of burning hair and rusting metal tickle your noses as you step inside. All players must make a mental save or go temporarily insane. Ooh. And here we have little notes for mechanics. We can use Sanity from Call of Cthulhu or DC 10 Wisdom Save for D&D 5e. And utilize Short-Term Madness Table in D&D. Very fun. I do like that, though this is a settings-agnostic adventure, they do incorporate like mechanics from existing games just to give you a better feel for how they should work and what they do. And of course, we also have a GM layer here, which gives you little hints and things. Very cool. And in part 3, after you have explored these rooms, the players have received the final keycard to go below ground and have made it to the elevator, read as follows. As the elevator descends below ground, the familiar smell from room 2313 fills the cage. The doors snap open as they have before, but now you almost expected something horrific standing in your way. Thankfully, you're simply greeted with the empty parking garage, dimly lit by overhead fluorescence. As soon as the players step out of the elevator, they are greeted by an abomination hiding just outside the door. The abomination will attack unprovoked with a surprise attack. All players must make a mental save or go insane. Ooh. And we have a map of the parking garage. And lurching from your left is what your minds can only fathom to be a human covered in tar. As it reaches for you, a third and fourth arm spring forward. Black ichor drips from the being, new faces and limbs gurgling from the newly formed puddles. The players have 4 rounds of attack before the elevator opens back up and a swarm of Archons appear. They destroy what's left of the creature quickly with their firearms before they open fire on the players. Ooh. Running this battle with no system. Players must roll over 15 to hit. Players may have picked up weapons along the way. Check the map for their damage amounts. The abomination has 85 hit points and attacks with limbs for 2d10 damage twice per turn. Very cool. And the wrap-up. You are all surprised at the lack of pain. You feel light, but not gone. As your vision fades to black, you each think back to your goals for the day. Perhaps you wanted to showcase your new recipe, or prove you're worthy to work for the lofty Hiram Beckett Company. Was it worth it? Before you can fathom an answer, you awaken in a dusty living room. The furniture looks like it hasn't been used in centuries aside from the touch of your companions, or at least what's left of them. Limbs have started to dissolve into a sickly black ichor that seeps into the cushions, collecting into a singular growing puddle of filth on the floor. A single card sits on the coffee table stating, "Good news! Due to your diligence and loyalty, the festival gala is no longer in danger. We thank you for your service. Bad news, your citizen ID number has been revoked. We regret to inform you the revision conditioning did not take. Get well soon. The Hiram Beckett Company." Ooh. So that is very fun. So you go through this whole adventure. You start in this gala, things start to go wrong, you investigate, you find the cause, and then you're all just kind of cut down by the Archons. And it just ends there unceremoniously. And now you're left wondering, wait, what happened? Where are we? Are we like dead? Are we becoming one of those things? Well, I guess from there you'll just have to find out. And so that was an excellent article. Let's see, there's not just one winner, but 2. And the second one was the exhibition at the Volon Rue. by River Fang. And so let's just drop that article in here that we are now going to look through. And this is now a one-shot adventure in Isekai. This one-shot is optimized for viewing on PC, may be viewable on some tablets, but it was not created to be used on mobile. Okay. Such is the way of much CSS. Click on the links on the right side of this page under the box on mobile or smaller screens to learn how to run this one-shot, or to read the rules, storybook. Alright, so we have basic information. This one-shot is meant to be run in the world of Isekai using the storybook system developed by Riverfang and Shiftrex. The one-shot is meant for a group of 1 to 5 Tier 0 players, including new players. This may take up to 2 sessions of 3 to 5 hours each to play, depending on the choices of the players. Of course, player choice has always been known to derail every campaign, every story. It's just inevitable. And so, storybook one-shot. Play this one-shot. Need the rules? Check the box to view all rules associated with the storybook system. Or I'm a storyteller, DM or GM. Check the box below to view the content needed to run exhibition at the Volon Rue. Sure, I'll join the group. Might as well. And I do need the rules, so let's see. We'll also join storybook. Alright. So, we have pre-made characters, much like in the Becketville adventure. These pre-made characters are Tier 0 characters, adventurers in the storybook system. Use these characters so that you can jump right into playing with this new system. Click the images below to find that character sheet. So, we have the Silver Elf. Alright. If we click on this, we get the sheet. Oh, it goes straight to a PDF, and look at this. The character's name is Bezrin Belute. Culture, Silver Elf. Size, medium. Profession, adventurer. Alignment, authority, divine. And deity is the huntress. Very cool. So they have their own system, their own character sheets. Yeah, very cool. You're 27 years old and height is 5'6". Woohoo. So yes, very cool. We have these pages, I assume, for every single one of these characters. We have Silver Elf, we have a Clay Giant, the Emerald Elf, the Human, the Mousekin, and the Iron Dwarf. And so, you have received a mysterious letter that speaks to the Clay Giants of Volon Rue and the history of their sports. The words ask you to come to the village of Campfire, where you will begin your journey to the hills of Volon and a prize that many would be more than grateful to have. You have been invited to an exhibition at the Volon Rue, where those who are not Giantkin can test their strength and wit to earn a coveted trade contract with the Cradle of Clay. Alright. And so here's a little player handout. Let's see, can we pop this open? Yes, so you can hand something like this out to your players. And because, of course, some people may find this hard to read, they've included, for accessibility purposes, which I love to do, a just plain text typed out version of what the contents are. Oh, I'm a big advocate of including accessible options for your players. As cool as some things like this may be, of course, at first glance, and for people who have difficulty reading, they may struggle reading this out without any assistance. So this is awesome as a player handout, but just make sure you have this little thing available so that those who struggle to read it can. Well, you know, maybe I should have, like, read some of it too. Yes. Good day, friend. I hope this letter finds you well. My name is Shaman Larik Peacemaker Eginar Vom, leader of one of the many villages in the Cradle of Clay. My fellow shaman and I wish to invite you to an exhibition of sorts, where you may show your prowess in combat, as well as your strength of wit. This exhibition will take place during the Volon Rue, a traditional celebration of our people, where our leaders are decided. I understand that for most, the lengthy travel is not enough incentive to come to the hills of my homeland. Instead, we have decided to grant the winner of this exhibition a wealthy trade deal for their village with the Cradle of Clay. We have many goods to offer, including meats, grains, and the famous arcane dust that so many covet. If you wish to partake in the exhibition, come to the village of Campfire, on the northern edge of the human empire. The townsfolk will point you on your way. Thank you for your thought. Shaman Lovek Peacemaker Egenavam. I need to see Vamoon. Okay. I was almost right. Oh, very cool. You have been invited to this exhibition, this event. And so, we have running exhibition at Volan Rue. As everyone arrives in Campfire, they are greeted by a woman, her face wrinkled with age. She introduces herself as Kavea, a village elder here to explain what awaits them, as they make their way to the hills of Volan and the tradition of the Volan Rue. Hundreds of miles of hills separate them from their destination and possible prize. The group is told to gather what supplies they may need before setting out. The journey is long, much longer on foot, so the shaman that invited them has gifted them horses to keep the fatigue at bay during their travels. Travel. The journey will take between 4 and 5 days, depending on how quickly the group chooses to travel. Traveling too quickly, or pushing their mounts too hard, will lead to fatigue, something that can be quite dangerous. The group will need to take camp every evening at some point. They may choose a suitable location before sunset, or push on and be forced into a specific campsite location by the darkness of the night. Each evening at camp, the players will have the opportunity to partake in campfire sessions. The rules on making camp and campfire sessions can be seen below. And so yes, they have the rule set for adventuring light, and for campfire sessions. Campfire sessions are the downtime that the party experiences between their missions. It can refer to time spent in town or time spent by an actual campfire in the wild. This is the primary time where you can spend all 3 types of experience points, and is a primarily narrative experience where the players can interact or branch out away from the group. NPC dispositions. NPCs in the storybook system have a disposition score that affects how they may interact with players. More information about these scores can be found in the adventuring chapter in the section titled Character Conversations. And so we have all these different campsites that we can choose from. Very cool. So campsite selection. Player's choice. A variety of predetermined campsite locations have been created as maps to be used. Each campsite is shown at sunset and during the night, with a grid in case of combat. During site selection, give players the basic descriptions of the area and allow them to choose if they wish to make camp in that area. If not, they can travel on, but may be forced to make camp due to darkness in an undesirable location. Player tokens. Player tokens have been created to be used on VTTs when playing this game. Very cool. Virtual tabletops. And sample campsite map. Here's a map depicting an area where players may choose to set up camp. This map would be an area of floodplains on the Cradle of Clay after a heavy rainstorm. These maps show elevations, shadows, and other terrain which should be taken into consideration when choosing a campsite. So yes, we have supplied campsite locations, maps of these campsites, tokens for your players to place them on these campsites. And that is very fun. And here we go, we have campsite 1. Very nice. And we have different times of day. We have the clearing at night and we have the clearing at sunset. We have campsite 2. We have a lake at night and in the sunset. We have the plains. We also have the ravine, as well as a river and the steppe. Very nice. We have encounters. Storyteller's choice. These encounters have been created to occur during the group's travel from Campfire to the hills of Olan. It is up to the storyteller to decide if and when these encounters happen based on several factors, including how well the group has set up their camp in the evening. Modification. These encounters may need to be modified slightly in terms of numbers due to how many players you have. Remember, players have few heroism points as an adventurer, and depending on party members, may not have the skills to easily gain them back. The storybook system utilizes 3 types of experience: CEXP, combat experience, exploration experience, and social experience. Encounters and making camp will grant a certain amount of experience. In most cases, the amount of experience granted will be listed with the encounter. Yeah, so we have all of these different encounters. We have bandits, we have more bandits, ghosts, Geyser Lily, Wandering Tatanka, and there's, oh, these are social ones. Wandering Tatanka is a social, and Missing Tatanka is also a social one. Very cool. And they have like a sheet for the NPC. This one does not seem to. Yes. So yes, after many long days of travel, the group has finally arrived at the hills of Volan, and what awaits them during the Volan Rue. As the sun begins to set, they are welcomed to the arena and asked for their invitations so that they can be properly settled with the accommodations and the shaman Lovek has made for them. Once settled in for the night, in a warm tent with full bellies, they are told what awaits them in the following days. They'll be greeted the following morning by the shaman and can make their final choices of competitions before the Volan Rue begins. Alright. And so, we have encounters at the Volan Rue. There will be social encounters, and there will be other encounters as well. I see here we have Lovek, and you can compete against the shaman who has invited you. And there's also Saren, the witch. So yes, she's a potion maker that travels and sells her wares. She has a variety of potions that grant or buff some sort to those that consume them. Right. And yes, so here is a description for all of the different games that there are. It's grappling, boxing, running, spear throwing, boulder toss, and storytelling. So for the most part, this seems to be like a very physical kind of adventure. Like very physical theme. There's grappling, there's, you know, all these like physical activities, but there's also storytelling. And so, those that wish to participate in the storytelling contest must tell a story relating to whatever they wish. The storyteller must then decide how well the players have done in relation to the other participants. Whoever tells the best story wins. Alright. With the many games of the Volan Rue complete, Shaman Lavec thanks the group for sharing their talents with those that call the Cradle of Clay home. He hopes they have learned something about the culture and heritage that he holds so dear, as few understand the hardships that have shaped the Clay Giants to be what they have become. On the topic of the reward mentioned in this letter, he notes that he twisted his words a small bit in the hopes that more people would come, but that all participants would gain some form of trade agreement with the Cradle, no matter how small. He said these agreements would reach them at home and would find whoever was in charge of their homeland. It was now the choice of the group on what they would do next. They have successfully reached the hills of Volan and completed the Volan Rue, but what lay ahead is a mystery. And thus we say, what next? Exhibition at the Volan Rue is meant to be a standalone one-shot to introduce players to the world of Isekai, and the TTRPG system, known as the Storybook System, created by Riverfang and Shiftrex. The story can easily end here, or it can continue if the players and storyteller agree. Most of the rules for the system have been created, and it is currently possible to play until Tier 1. The Storybook System will continue to be in development so that players can continue the story that they brought to life this one-shot. More races, cultures, professions, and skills will be added to the system, broadening the endless possibilities that Isekai and the system hold. Yeah, so this is also an absolutely excellent adventure article. There's all these descriptions, activities, assets as well. Honestly, I think if you can manage to create like all these kinds of assets for a one-shot, like within the month for a challenge. I think that is so cool. I think it's really awesome that people are able to do this and put this together in such a short time. It makes me also want to like put in a ton of effort into making not only the adventure, but also some character portraits, some maps, a whole bunch of other stuff that people can like take and use and look at and like play with, you know? I just don't have like a system that I would be running in, you know what I mean? So maybe that's something to consider, maybe something to work on for the near future. Maybe we just get like a little system going. We figure out how we might run games, adventures, and such in my world. Of course, Adventure April is the perfect time, I would say, to look into something like that. And so now, where do we go from here? Because now we have gone through essentially all the content of the previous winners for Adventure April. And this is the kind of stuff that we're going to expect going forward with this month. Because again, yes, it is going to be this Saturday that we get like the official release of this year's Adventure April. And I don't know if anything's gonna be different. We are going to get a one-shot template that World Anvil is releasing. So I am eager to see what that's gonna look like. But we can check out the little Discord update, the announcement, where we can see here we go. We shall see this week on World Anvil. Upcoming is Adventure April! On Friday, they introduce the one-shot template on stream. On Saturday, Adventure April launches. And on Sunday, we're gonna have a little community stream about what makes a great World Anvil article. Well, there are many fantastic articles on World Anvil, so I'm sure I'm assuming Moro is on this. I don't know if she's gonna be by herself or if she's gonna bring on some guests. But there are many guests that she could bring on, and there are going to be many of us in the chat probably offering our own little bits and pieces of advice, little tidbits. Yeah. So now that we know what is, you know, inbound for next month, I don't know, let's slow down and talk about what's going on like right now. Because I'm currently in my own little world building journey on organization quest, on category quest, on cleanup quest, whatever we want to call it. Because I just have so much content that's old and does not work anymore, is not good, is not correct. Or it's good, but it's not correct anymore. It's outdated, retconned maybe. And so, my goal, cut down on all that retconned content, get rid of it, archive it, delete it, and clean up my like list of articles. So hopefully the only articles that I physically have like in World Anvil are ones that I think are like publishable, ones that I think are like correct enough to still be like featured and findable on my world. Because there are quite a few articles, like I've already deleted many, like several articles that don't fit anymore. But there are also, of course, the newer articles that are piling up that already, some of them I see like, oh, I could change this thing or add this thing or remove this thing or shunt this bit of information over into some other completely different place. You know, I guess it's just kind of all over the place. And so, big on my list as well is getting an introduction to Malcora written out. I have a little unpublished little draft article. One day I'll do it. I want to establish a couple more things about my world before I get into an introduction. Because I don't even have all of the, like, all-encompassing ideas behind my world figured out yet. But we'll get there. The things I do have, let's see. We're gonna pop open all my categories again, because I did add a couple more since last time. If we wanna do a little zoom in so I can read all of these on my little stream window. Naturally, we have our introduction. We have our peoples, and this would be the category basically of the races of Malcora. And there are 3 different categories of those people. We have categories, 1 each, for the 3 different bloodlines that exist, and they, of course, correspond directly with the powers of the world, which are the divines, the gods, the world spirit, the elements, and the ley lines, which is the arcane. And so, we have the faith kept, who have divine blood and are protected by the gods. We have the Eldrot, which are the elementals, and the Leyborn, which are born from the magic of the ley lines. And so they don't necessarily have, like, a being that is their patron. They're more just influenced and very adaptable to the natural magic of the world. So that kind of sets the Leyborn apart from the Faith Kept and the Eldrot, because of course the Faith Kept are protected by the gods. That is how they come to be. That is how they are changed and molded alongside the changing world of Malcora, so they, don't die when the ley lines turn over their environment. The same thing goes for the Eldrot. These people are protected, altered, changed, helped to evolve by the elemental spirits of the world. So it's these 2 different powers looking out for the humans of the world that share their blood in different ways. But for the Leyborn, they don't have someone doing this to them. It's just their natural reaction to the magic of the ley lines and how they react or respond to that. And then, of course, we have our places. We got Nefirin. It's like, it's the only place we've got right now. And that's like the whole continent, the whole overarching area. Then, of course, we have our little community tab. Yeah. Of course, the places in Nefirin. We have Bolkan, Everbright, Sticker, Urus Brianna, the Kingdom of Arsavella, and Nimavi. These are places that I have thus far written. I don't actually know that I have any information in this article. I have a little bit. I have like a tiny bit, little bare bones article. Probably from like a previous challenge once upon a time. I might have even worked on it a little bit during World Ember, but I don't think that's correct. Who knows? World Ember is always such a blur for me. I try to do so much at a time, and then I burn myself out very quickly because I don't go into December with energy. Like, surely we understand. Like, it's the holiday season, first of all, December. Like, I already am very low on energy going into that month. And then all sorts of stuff starts happening. I'm also trying to write, I'm trying to stay productive. I'm trying to be like a person who is present in the lives of my friends and family, which on its own, any time of the year is already difficult, but like now during the holidays, it's just a whole thing, you know? Summer camp, however, mint. I have so much energy in the summer. I have energy, I have time, I feel good. The sun is out, like, it's not dark at 4 p.m. Like, I feel good about life during summer camp season. And so summer camp is usually when I have like the most fun writing. Like, the words just kind of happen a lot more easily than they do during World Ember. Which is so funny, because I always go into World Ember thinking that the challenge is going to be easier because I don't have to follow any prompts.
Refresh yourselves!
Sippy! Why, thank you. Oh, I see you're not 2 hours late and staring at the watch this broadcast from 2 hours ago screen today. Been here the whole time, not even late. Oh, look at you go. Absolutely, absolutely on top of things, on top of this life. Definitely didn't just get home. Yeah, for sure. Definitely not late. Listen, you got here at the midpoint. We're at the little 8 o'clock. Although I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't quote me on this yet. I might cut stream early today because I'm not feeling like at my best and my bubbliest. I'm very tired. um, I'm very tired, but I'm very happy to just kind of hang out and chill with you guys. So here we are. But yeah, as I was saying, I go into summer camp, or no, I go into World Ember thinking it's gonna be a lot easier than summer camp because I'm like, oh, I don't have to follow any prompts. I can like make one article that goes on for like 1,000 words. And every year, pretty much, I do make one article during World Ember that goes on for like 1,000 or more words. But then immediately after I make that article, I just stop falling off. I start falling off. I just start writing a little bit less. I get a little bit more tired. I'll make my big 1,000 word article first day pretty much. Then like a day will go by and I'll make another article. It's like 500 words. Okay, awesome, great. And then like 3 days will go by and I'll make another like 500 word article maybe. Then a week will go by. Maybe in that time I'll have like another 200 or 300 word article. And then like another week will go by and I won't have added anything. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm in like the last week of the challenge. I have like 3,000 words out of 10,000. And I don't even know what I'm gonna be writing from here on out. So, yeah, don't be like me. Do not be like me and assume that just because there's no prompts, it's gonna be easier. Sometimes it's actually harder. Because since there's no prompts, no one's telling you what to write. So you have to come up with all your own ideas, all your own concepts from scratch. And yeah, you just have to hope that those will carry you through to the end of the event. And of course, usually they do. Usually we get there in the end. Simple, do it all first day. You know, people do that a lot. People have finished World Ember in like the first couple hours, and I commend them for it. They are absolutely insane. But in the grand scheme of things, if you know exactly what you want to write, and you just get into a groove, 10,000 words is not a crazy amount. It's really not an obscene amount. And, you know, you can see that because then there are people who finish World Ember with like 100,000 words during the event. And at that point, I do think you're crazy. At that point, I do think you're a little bit insane. Because, like, obviously people do NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, and that's like 50,000 words in a month. And even that's really pushing it. Like, you have to really sit down and force yourself to, like, write. Get all those words down on that sheet of paper. Or virtual sheet of paper, probably typing it all. But yeah, 50K? It's a good number of words. 100K? Wow, we're pushing it, buds. That's that's a lot of words. I don't even think that my world has that many, like, in total right now. Especially because I deleted a lot. Oh, let's see. How many words are my world? I think that's on the dashboard. You know, I do have over 100,000 words. I have 120,873 words across my entire world. So yeah, basically, these people, over the course of a month, populate their world with new world building of basically the entire contents of my world. Like, just within a month, they've duplicated my entire world's worth of word count. It's challenging, isn't it? It's not something I personally could wrap my brain around very well. But yeah. Writers, man, they're crazy. Just in general, they're kind of a little batshit insane. But we love them. At least I hope you love them. Do you love me? Me and all my crazy antics. Just all over the place. Never noticed, yeah. Just never noticed that we're absolutely insane. Also, always love you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I have all these big plans. All these big plans and all the stress carrying me to maybe get some of them done. I'm very pleased with how these look on my page. And so yes, once I actually have more articles to put in here, then one day we will have, hold on. Yeah, I'm very excited to just fill these out. I want everything to be like there. One of my biggest gripes about like myself, my writing process, and my world building process more than anything is that I have completely skipped over the part where I develop like the base concepts of my world and like explain what they are to people. And I just go into like, here's a bug that lives in this region. And while I love that I have little articles about buggies in my world, I would like to know where they are from and why they are there. Like, it's a magical bug. Why is it magical? What is the magic behind it? Where does it come from? You know, like, what is the system behind this world? And that is just information that I've neglected to put into writing and put into my world. And so that is my goal. That is my dream, is to just fill out these categories with like the articles that say, here's what this concept is in this world, how this system works, and how it's applied in different parts of the world. So my introduction to magic, my introduction to the gods, my introduction to the spirits of the world. You say, fuck it, more buggies? I agree with you. Let's make more bugs. But I would like a more fleshed out world in which to situate those bugs. And so that is my goal. That is the idea. I want to make more of this content. I want to make more maps. I want an award for having a cool map. I want to make more. I need to make more. But yes. Oh my goodness. There's just, like, there's so much on my plate. So much that I want to do. Ah. But yeah, there's just, because I need to organize. I need to flesh out all these categories. I need to get my world introduction ready. I just need everything to be done. There are a lot of things in my life, a lot of projects. I'm like, I love this. It's great, but I need this to be done. I need this stage to be done so I can move on to other stuff. And I'm gonna use bureaucracy right now of this situation. It's like, there are a lot of fun things I want to write about, but there are also a lot of like more mundane things that I need to write about right now. And that's like the rules and the explanations for things, which aren't as fun. They're a lot more technical. I need to like rack my brain a lot more about how I'm gonna do it all. But it must be done. Oh, and my neck is so crunchy. I'm dying. Send help. And you say, you got this. Thank you. But also, I'm a fan of these little icons that I picked out for the people categories. They're the options on Font Awesome for like people icons are very limited. And so what I was able to work with through these is, of course, for Faith Kept, I have a person praying. For Eldrot, I have a person like getting hit by an explosion. I figure explosions are probably a very common thing among the elements. And the Leyborn is kind of like this person like radiating something, like some kind of light. The guy who exploded, yeah, he's fallen over. And so, yes, for these we have like, you know, all three of these icons are people. And I think that's super fitting for, you know, people. And then for the powers, they're all hand themed. So we have the sparkly hand to describe powers in general. And then we have the praying hands for the divinity. World spirit, they're holding up the world. And the ley lines is like the little wispy magic coming up from the palm. It's fun. And maybe once I have more continents, I can decide what better icon would be for like Nefirin and for other places of the world. Because right now I just have mountains for Nefirin, which there are mountains in Nefirin, and one of the central ideas, like places that I'm working on building out, is like a region separated by a giant mountain range. And so it makes sense that mountains would represent that for now. And ooh, we have, for those who are patrons of my world, we have patron halls now. Ooh. They're still under development, so not all the information that I would like to have in there is in there yet. But we have the Archivist's Hall for my $1 patrons and up, of course. Central hub for all of Malcora's patron exclusive content. And this just basically shows like, here are articles that have Patreon content. And, you know, this is all like under construction still, but that's fine. The Oracle's Keep. The Oracle's Keep is for my $5 patrons and higher, which also, like, this is also under construction. I, like, just made this the other day. And the Ascended Vault for my fancy $10 patrons who just love and support me so much for some reason. They're willing to give me $10 every month. This is going to be where I keep all of my, like, private articles, like, completely hidden. Like, no one has access to these articles at all. And these are basically the articles that I plan to delete, essentially. These are articles that don't necessarily fit the vision of my world anymore, but I'm keeping because the ideas in them are cool. And I want to build off of them in the future. And so they're all just going to be set to private. They'll be accessible to my big boy patrons. And in the event that I'm like, hey guys, I want to know what I should develop next, what I should work on next. And basically I could be like, oh, I have like a couple of these articles in the vault. Some of these ideas that I want to explore. What do you guys think? And so that'll be like the whole premise of having this Patreon tier, is you get all the secrets. You also get the very secrets that I've hidden away from basically everybody because they don't work anymore. And so, wahoo! But of course, anyone watching, like, my Patreon is, I'm gonna say it's like very much under construction. Because I'm only just now kind of getting into the state of like, okay, I need to work on like my separation of content and figuring out like what constitutes as a secret in my world. So as the months go by, there's going to be more and more snippets and tidbits of information thrown into the different tiers. So if you support me right now at this exact moment, I will appreciate it. You will be giving me a lot of support, and I will appreciate you for the rest of life and time immemorial. And there is, of course, some content that you will already have unlocked. But all the meat, all the juice of what these Patreon tiers are going to offer are, like, coming soon, TM, you know? I hope to have that done very soon. I imagine once I have, like, a veritable base of information for each tier of my Patreon, I will make a bigger, like, announcement of, like, hey, come check out my Patreon. It's got all this cool, like, delicious secret content for my world. Done. What do you mean done? Oh my goodness. You're killing me. But yes. So for now, little hearts. That was the shittiest heart of my life, but instead I will give you these. Yes, okay. But yes, for now, these patron halls are just like a little sneak peek of what I'm working on, of what I'm assembling for my patrons. And I'm also gonna have a little, a little sheet not a sheet, a little article where I just highlight, you know, like all my patrons and give special thanks. And I guess I think I'll publish that when my patron announcement comes out. Like, I have this Patreon, wahoo! You can end up on this list. And of course, if you do support me on Patreon and you want access to all this stuff, you're gonna have to make a World Anvil account. Because the way it works is you have an account, and I add you to a little subscriber group. And then because you're already part of that group, you now have access to these private articles that no one else can see. So even if you get the link, you cannot see it unless you have an account and you are a member of this group. You ascend! Ah, no, you're not giving me $10 a month, stop! Do not. You gotta save your money, fam. But I appreciate you. You're just a little crazy. I'm just gonna give you a little celebratory bonk for that. Not even once, no. maybe a little gasp. Ah. In non-world building related news, or not even news, like on the topic of things that I want to do that aren't related to world building, I want to make more emotes. This is something that I need to sit down and do, and I'm thinking maybe one of these days when I'm not doing like a writing world building theme stream, I will instead just sit down and make some more emotes, because that is something I want to do. I think the emote that we are missing from this channel is the sippy emote. It is a crime that we do not have a little sippy emote. And it could even become the emote that I use for my little, like, have a sippy alert. So every time you redeem that little have a sippy command, I will instead have a little me pop up. Like you can see, wrong way, you can see all the way over there on like way far to the left side of the screen is a little me. And you may notice whenever one of my alerts goes off for like subs or follows or anything like that, like a little different version of me pops up.
Refresh yourselves.
See, there's the little refresh yourself alert. Like so. Thank you for the demonstration. There we go. Right now it's just like it's a little hand drowning in paperwork, which is a visual representation of how I feel at all times. Just me drowning in like sheets of paper, articles, and writings. But that's not a sippy, that's a die. But yes, maybe one of these days I will have a little sip emote. Perhaps even an animated one. I know, crazy. And I will have to sit down and make that. I am as of yet not particularly experienced in making animated emotes, but I have made one, and I'm very happy with it. And I don't mean, I'm not referring to our lovely little, this guy that I'm putting in chat right now, a little lovely 2-frame animated gyoza cheer. I love him, he is beautiful. But when I say animated, I mean like properly animated, like multiple frames, like maybe even like a smooth animation, and I do have one of those. But you would have to see it in my Discord server because I do not have it like on Twitch. I don't think that I have the animated emote slots yet for more than one. Although I might have more than one. At this point, I'm not sure. I don't know. But yes, I do have a little like fully like smooth animated emote of me doing like the little, you know, like the Edgar Allan Poe like reading meme, like you just read something, just, you know, I have one of those where I'm like looking at the sheet of paper, squinting at it like, and then it turns into rage face. I love that. It's one of my favorites to use whenever I just read some bullshit, you know what I mean? Yeah, that one, tons of views, yeah. It's like whenever someone just pushes something along my way and I read it and I look at it and I'm like, you're kidding, right? Like, what is this? What have you given me? I don't want to look at this. That's the emote that I use. It hasn't seen a lot of use lately because I haven't been given a lot of questionable content to look at recently. But you know it gets its use. So yeah, I want to make more animated emotes. I need to make more art. I like the topic of last stream where I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? Or, I don't know if it was last stream. I think it was a stream before. Whatever. Like, I need to make art for my world. I need to figure out my art style. I need to do all kinds of things. There's so much on my list of things to do. And the more I scream about it, the more it's just because of course I start working on something and I'm like, great, I love this. But then that turns into me finding like 6 other things that I want to do. I'm like, okay, well, we just push forward and we don't think about that too much. We don't think too much about the exponentially growing list of things that I need to do. No, we do not think about such things. Oh. There's so much. There's so much that I need to do. But we stay strong. Damn, you got 80 of those HDs. Yeah, true. Don't know what an HD is, but my doctor says got 80 of them. I butchered that sentence, but y'all know what I mean. Oh, but if I may, I'm going to nerd out about some of this perfume that I just bought. I've spent an inordinate amount of money on perfume lately. Because I found this like small business online that like they have a lot of really fun, really exciting, like nerdy named smells. Like they got all kinds of things. They got like Game of Thrones and like D&D and like witchy stuff too. It's all over the place. It's called Sucre Bay. It's like French, so it's spelled like Sucre Bale, you know? So it's like Sucre Bay. Very nice. Very cool. What I really like is that they offer little packs of like 1 milliliter sample bottles. And I don't know if I can like hold these up real quick. I have like a handful of them. Like, look how little they are. And I have like 30 of these. Okay. Because they had this sale this month. Like it's already over at this point. Where if you know, like the more you spend, the more little goodies they'll give you as like a little add-on to your order. And so I spent $100. I bought 2 sets of 5 baby samples and a $30 like big roller ball of like this larger nice little vial of one of their premium scents. It's called Blood and Bone. It smells like blood shed in the forest, basically, is the best way I can describe it. Very cool. It makes me feel like an actual witch when I wear it. But yeah, so because I ordered $100 worth of stuff, what they also included was like first they like through the different tiers of rewards for spending however much money. Like, you know, I got like several other samples, several dram size samples, which like is one of these versus one of these. So like a little bigger boy. Got 3 of those. I got a bunch more tiny ones. But for spending $100, I got a whole scoop. Like a whole like scoop of the 1 milliliter samples. Just like all random ones. But there were like 15 in that scoop. It's like 15 different samples in that scoop. And they're all so good. So every day I'm just like putting on a different one and seeing how much I like it. Of course, I've already found some favorites. Some are better than others for me. Of course, it's all subjective. My favorite one recently is one that I bought named Freak in the Spreadsheets. As someone who goes to work and works with spreadsheets on the daily, that is like the perfect name for a perfume. Yeah, so it wasn't today, but it was yesterday where I came into work wearing a freak in the spreadsheets. Which one did I have today? I think it was just called Sophia. Maybe. I don't know. But it was really nice. It was very cinnamony. But yeah. So I'm having a fantastic time rebuilding my life, using my adult money to buy fun things for myself to get the little serotonin going in the brain. So yes. So now every single day I can reach basically I can make myself like a little perfume grab bag and just like a little mystery pouch. I can reach in, grab one and be like, "Aha, here's my little scent of the day." And so my plan is to find which ones are my favorites and buy like, a full bottle of them essentially. Or even just a roller ball like this one. I don't think I need a full bottle. These things will last me like 10,000 years. Yeah, sorry. I know this is like nerd stream. This is like writing stream, but here I am talking about like perfumes that I bought. It's fine. It's relevant. It's what keeps me going. If I don't have the little things in life to make me happy, I'm just going to crash and burn and die. It is important. I need to buy the little things to give me the serotonin to convince me to keep working. The little joys in life. Cause I'm gonna drop the little hard truth for everyone. All this stuff, like you see my little world building thing I've got going on here? I love this. I adore this. Every single day, I look forward to the next thing I'm gonna put into this world. But even the things you love can burn you the fuck out. It is difficult sometimes to just keep up the creative energy, to keep doing stuff that you want to do. So we find the little joys in life. Like these little peanut mochis that I bought myself at the grocery store. That they look I'm gonna take one out for you guys so you can look at it. I'm not gonna eat on stream because I don't really want to do that. But hold on. Let me not crinkle plastic too close to my microphone. I hope this isn't offensive to anybody's ears. But if we just have a gander. You are a little joy in life. Got him. No! Stop! Okay, see, we have a little peanut mochi here in this little piece of paper. What is that if not a chicken nugget? That is just a chicken nugget. I love this. You literally take it out, it looks like a chicken nugget. And I cannot get that visual out of my brain as I'm like going to take a bite out of it. And so without fail, every single time I do, I'm like, that is not the flavor that I expected. It is not the flavor, it is not the texture, but it is delicious. I think they have a peanut butter filling. Or it's some kind of peanutty fitting filling. Hello, words. Yeah, it's that is another one of those little joys in life. Although I will say I bought the peanut ones because they didn't have the flavors of like I've gotten these before but in different flavors and they didn't have the flavor that I like. The flavor that I usually get. So I was like, well, they have at least one flavor, so I might as well just grab something. I usually go for like the red bean ones, just like the plain red bean mochi little ones. They're good. They're really good. I think specifically from this brand, I don't like the matcha ones. I don't know. My taste on matcha has also like drastically shifted like out of nowhere in recent times. So I could have just had them before I liked them, you know what I mean? I don't know. But if ever I am taken to a like Japanese restaurant and they have ice cream mochi, you know I'm inhaling a green tea mochi. Like just absolutely inhaling those things because they are so good. But yeah. So that oh gosh. But yeah, so I guess this is just a little recap of everything that we've discussed on stream today. We got 2 challenges coming up on World Anvil. Artisan April, Adventure April. This is last year's page. The new page is going to be unleashed on Saturday, I assume. Along with a one-shot template released by World Anvil. So yeah, Adventure April's coming up. We're going to be cooking up some one-shots. Maybe. I don't know. We as the community are going to be cooking up some one-shots, of course. Myself, I'm gonna try. I've made like a little New Year's resolution for myself of like, I'm going to participate in every challenge that comes my way. Whether or not I go ham is dependent entirely on the challenge itself, but I would like to be a participant in all of them. I'd like one shot. I mean, same. I have options. I shall not discuss them live because I don't know how much Twitch likes that. What are they gonna do? Demonetize me? Most of my income is from other places. But no. Yeah, so we're gonna be cooking up some one-shots, gonna find some adventures that we can stage within the world of Malcora. Ooh. I already have some ideas cooking. I have some concepts that went unexplored or, you know, didn't get to be fully explored during the early stages of my world as a, like, homebrew D&D setting. Alki. Yeah, I know what you meant. Believe me, I know what you meant. But we're not going there, alright? I think Twitch would like that even less. Eehoo. Yes. So yeah, Adventure April. We're cooking up some one-shots. And to those who were not here at the very beginning of my stream where I introed this challenge, that is an unofficial challenge created by a member of the community that I am actually on the panel of judges for. It's Artisan April. A little recap for everyone. The challenge is to create an original work in any medium that is a direct part of your world. So, this is less of a writing challenge and more of a creative challenge. Like, making art or crafts or just any artisanal thing. And then, of course, to submit it, you just make an article describing what that thing is, how it fits in your world, what it actually does, where it comes from, all those good things. And again, it is being judged by Oster, the creator of this challenge. It's also being judged by a panel of Annie Stein, creator of Solaris, Katoblapan, creator of Shattered, and myself, creator of Malcora. Yee. I'm excited. I think this is a really cool challenge, and yeah, I thought myself qualified to judge a challenge like this because my map that I created, that is like a part of the world, is like in there. Like it pretty much fits the description of this challenge. Like there's a map that is a part of my world that is in there. And it won an award. It won a whole literal award. So I feel I'm a little bit qualified to judge the in-world creations that people submit to this challenge. Very cool. Yeah, people can create animations, they can make portraits, landscapes, maps, short stories, spell scrolls. And I think the whole point of this is that you, like, if it's a physical item, you probably want to, like, create it by hand, like, in the real world. Or I think maybe, you know, I'm not sure if you have to physically make it, or if it's just something that can be, like, drawn or illustrated digitally, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm gonna say, if someone, like, comes out and physically makes stuff, I may be a little bit more inclined to be like, oh damn, that one's higher up on my list. Because it is more about the thing that is produced than the article that is written about it. So, if you're gonna participate, just keep that one in mind. I cannot speak for the other judges. I do not know what their personal preference or criteria is going to be. Yeah, there's going to be 3 winners that are like judges pick, and then there's going to be 1 overall winner. I assume there's going to be some overlap, maybe? I don't know. We'll see how that works. But yeah, that is some fun that is coming to next month. So 2 challenges, 1 official, 1 not. 1 I will be participating in, 1 I will be judging. I may vaguely participate in the Artisan April challenge by making an article for the map that I mentioned, just so that it has like a little article to describe what it is and where it comes from. Maybe I'll explore who the cartographer is that made this map and had such misfortune fall before them. And of course, the map which I refer is this one. There she is, in all of her glory. Destroyed, ink spilled. Honestly, my pride and joy. I love this map. It's just one of those, like, I'm sitting here looking at this thing like, this is my baby. I put so much work into this. I put so much work, time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into making this map. And getting it in time for submissions. And it paid off. It paid off! It's so affirming that this thing, like, actually took home the award that I, like, strived so hard to go for and receive. And I took it home. Deserved. Oh, thank you. See, that's everyone saying that, like, oh, you deserve this win, congratulations, oh, you're so cool. I'm like, stop being nice to me. Like, I'm not used to people, like, you know, going out of their way to say nice things about me. Preppy Monty Poppycock, hello, I told you you would, didn't I? Oh, that's true, you did say that. You did say that, and I got Most Beautiful World by, like, the skin of my teeth, pretty much. If I didn't bully, like, 1 friend to go vote, I would not have taken both awards. It's just so crazy what, like, 1 little vote can do. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of glad that it was, like, an exact tie. Because if I won by 1 vote, well, I would have been taking away a reward from someone else. But now there are 2 Most Beautiful Worlds. Ha ha ha. There's more beauty to be shared and rewarded. So what's this about Artisan April? Can I make an instrument? You most certainly can. Yes, Artisan April. I'll pop the link back in here, but this is an unofficial challenge created by Oster, a member of our community. And yeah, so there's going to be the following panel of judges, including Oster himself. It'll be the 4 of us. And yeah, again, the whole premise is to create an original work in any medium. So it can be something that you craft, it can be something you design, like it can be like a physical object, a blueprint, like anything, like a painting, an art. But it's all about the magic of making something. Yeah, so yeah, that is my impression of this, is that it's focused on making something. Not just writing about it, but making that thing. Bringing that thing to life, and then putting it in an article and describing it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And so, like I said, if I were to, like, genuinely, like, participate in this challenge, I would say that something like this map that I've made would be, like, the perfect submission. You know what I mean? Like, this map, it is a thing that exists in world. Like, it is an in-world thing that exists in here. It is a map that someone, an artisan, has made. And I would just, like, make an article for this, describe it, and that would have been my entry. As I am judging and not, like, actually participating in this, I might just make the article just to submit it. And then I will just like abstain from being judged or whatever. Just so I can say I was there and participated as part of the whole process. Stray Marble. Oh, hello, how are you doing? Welcome, Lurker. We're just talking about little challenges that are gonna come up in the next month on World Anvil. Well, I've already talked about them. Now we're just kind of having a little chatter about them. Participation is the most important part for sure. Absolutely. That is why one of my resolutions this year was just to participate in all the challenges, you know? Like, I just want to take part. I'm not gonna shoot for a win on every single one because that will, like, undoubtedly burn me out. But I'd like to take part because it's always so much fun to just be a part of challenges and just do stuff. So yeah. Stray Marble, I don't know if you were here for, like, me talking about any of them and describing any of what they are. But we do have 2 challenges coming up for the month of April. One of which is an official World Anvil sponsored challenge, and the other is a community challenge. That was just kind of unofficial, created by a member of the community that we can just take part in for funsies. Of course, we have this artist in April that I have described. Create a thing. It's just any creative venture that you want to pursue. Just create a thing using that medium, and then make an article describing it and submit it, and that is your entry. And of course, the yearly Adventure April, where we create one-shots. One-shot modules for any form of adventure, any kind of game system that you might want to play in. And just make an adventure set in your world. At the first half of stream was me looking at the winners for the previous years. As of course, Emily Armstrong and Riverfang's articles. And I could just like give a little scroll through. I'll just open up these articles again. Because they are very cool. They're very exciting. And it's just an example of the work that has come out of previous years. I'll just do like a basic gloss of what they were. And so here we have A Night at the Gala, a Beckettville one-shot. And so this is a little one-shot set in the Beckettville universe. And so we basically have like this whole article that's like, you know, it's separated in like player-friendly information, so like all the introduction you need to know to just play it, and the GM information, like GM only, players do not pass go, you know? And introduces us with a quote from President Hiram Beckett. And it introduces you to the setting. It welcomes you to Beckettville, talks about the city, about the company, about the Beckett Suites, which is where you're going to be having this adventure. Employment at Beckett Suites, which is basically introducing you to the different classes you can play while you're here in this adventure. And of course, these are all going to be employees at a hotel. So you have the AV tech, the bartender, the bellhop, housekeeper, security, server. And they go so far as to give you tabletop-specific suggestions for what this class might look like in other settings. So in D&D, the bartender would be like your charisma, dex, or wisdom-based class. In Call of Cthulhu, you'd be a bartender. Very simple. And now, players are prohibited beyond this point. And this is the cool part, where they have all this information about like how the Beckett Suites work, how everything's managed, uncovering the culprit, like the whole plot, the setup, all the descriptions, like everything in orange is like the DM stuff, like you introduce this place.
Refresh yourselves.
Very cool. Oh wait, no, my mug's empty. I have to be back. I'll refill my mug. Hello, I'm sorry. I'm here with the late Sippy. Scone Thief, hello. Welcome, how are you? But yeah, they have all these sections of like the cool exposition that the DM reads, like introducing you to the grand ballroom. Beckett Suites, the height of class in Beckettville. Many pray to the almighty Delorum for the opportunity to step foot in this beautiful establishment. You know, like all that kind of fluff to get your players in like, yeah, this is where we are, this is so cool. And they talk about like, you know, like these are the NPCs that are here, and like it even describes who they are and what their motives are. And they have maps, like look at this. And they have labels for players. They have labels for the GM only with the all the clues and such. Very cool. So this is, again, like this is the winner of Adventure April last year. And it takes you through an entire adventure, a whole one-shot with all these little stories and snippets and assets and all that kind of stuff. And likewise, this was the Premier League winner, and so the way challenges work in World Anvil now is that there's the Standard League, which is for everyone who has not won a challenge in the past. And then there's the Premier League for everyone who has won a challenge in the past. And so they get judged separately. We get a winner from each league, essentially. And this one here is the exhibition at Volan Rue. And this is a one-shot in Isekai by River Fang. And it comes with some pre-made characters that you can hop in at level 0. They have their own storybook system, so their own game system that they are actively working on, I think, to this day. And they take you through here, and they have like the whole travel system and everything. They have all the rules there available for you. Because this is a very travel-heavy like one-shot, there's going to be different campsites that you can camp at every single night, and they have maps for each one. They have the nighttime, they have the sunset, all these different locations that you can camp at. They have encounters. So there's some combat encounters with different like bandits and their stat blocks, little character sheets. They have social encounters, little character sheets for those NPCs. And they have encounters for when you finally get to your destination. And the games that you get to play as part of the challenge here. And all the rules behind how those mechanics are going to work and how the games are going to play. And so yeah, there's a lot of very cool stuff here. And so that is how Adventure April works. We make little one-shots. And so I'm going to probably try my hand at making my own for my own world going forward. I just don't know what setting, or not setting, what system I would use, if any. If I choose to include like mechanics, I'll probably stick with 5e because that's what I know. But as far as that, now for me it's just figuring out what story I want to tell. You know, like what is this one shot that I actually want to bring to the table? But I suppose we'll see. And yes, don't mind me, I'm just kind of staring at my map again because I just think it's neat, okay? Listen, it still hasn't like fully, I still have not fully wrapped my brain around the fact that I literally won an award for making this thing. Some say it's the neatest map of 2022. Some do say that. The people have voted, and they have decreed that this is indeed one of the neatest maps on World Anvil created in 2022. See, we just have to make a new one in 2023 to keep the streak going, you know what I mean? It's really cool. If you ever want to bounce ideas off someone, I'm happy to chat. I'm doing a lot of exploring in different game systems. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like my knowledge of mechanics and like game systems is very limited because I've never really been like a mechanics-minded person. So if ever I do create a system, like a custom system to play in my world with, I feel like it would be a lot more roleplay intensive than number based. Like, of course, I cannot take the shiny click-clacks away from the gamers, so I have to include dice mechanics because I wouldn't have fun in my own world if I didn't have little shiny click-clacks to roll around. So of course, I must find a way to include the shiny click-clacks. Little dice rolls, make it fun, make it exciting. we love shiny click-clacks. Yes. That is why I have so many. Like, I have 3 different sets behind me. It's a little... These have many colors. This is, see, this one's actually like a cancer awareness dice set. So, I don't know if I can show these off well in the palm of my hand, but they are very... There's like all the colors, and all of them have little, it's like impossible to show, but they all have like little different color ribbons inside them, like little cancer ribbons. And they're very cute. It's like, I don't know all the colors, so... Yeah. A little putting away dice ASMR, hold on. Yeah, they're super cool. Yeah, my partner got me these like a bajillion years ago. And I say a bajillion years ago, I think it was like last year. And of course I have the classic little Chessex dice. I have green and black, and I have green and purple. You can tell that green may be one of my favorite colors. Maybe. But yeah. So definitely dice. Whatever I end up with, it's definitely gonna be dice. Yeah, so the gears are turning in my brain. What one shot would I want to run? What story do I want to tell in my world? Because I'm thinking, because so much of my time and energy recently has been spent on kind of developing like baby's first adventure regions in my world. So over here, this is basically where you would end up, where I just like chuck you guys if you were players in my world for the first time. The Kingdom of Arsavella. Little to no magic presence here. Many people might not even know it exists. But you can go off and explore through many wacky wild adventures and discover horrors beyond your comprehension, or wonders beyond your comprehension, either one. Could go either way, really. But yeah, you just kind of get put here and learn about the world the way any random individual living in this region would. So yeah, maybe I will find some little plot point that I can turn into a little one-shot that would come to be in this region. Also, shout out to this article for being one of the submissions I put in for Most Beautiful World. It's very simple. Nothing crazy. Got, landscapes. I would love to remake this in some way, like the art specifically. Because I have expressed before my my personal ick about populating my articles with like AI art. Because I don't want to do that. I don't, as an artist, it hurts me a little bit. But at the same time, it's just pretty. It's like, it's a space filler, and it like gets the mood of an article like in place without having to spend like a bajillion years populating everything. Because especially during challenges, I will be spitting out articles a lot faster than my hands can keep up with. So like during summer camp, when I'm making 31 articles in a month, I'm not gonna have 31 illustrations in a month. Absolutely not. That's not happening. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just I'll just toss some random art in here, some randomly generated stuff, and whatever catches the vibe of the piece, I'll put it in there and it'll be good. But of course, especially with these newer articles, like with this Kingdom article, I definitely want to show it some love. I definitely want to make my own art to fill this article in the future. And especially if this is going to be one of those articles that I present to people being introduced to my world, I want that to be the focus of my like artistic quest of getting art like to populate these places. But of course I will say this map, for sure, not AI. I'm very happy with this map. Very fun. I love the idea of AI art and can do some cool stuff. It just feels not okay to me. Yeah, see, I have like a very specific set of mixed feelings on it, where I think if you are making this art and using it in any way to like sell, or you're using it and you are saying like, I made this, like I am the artist who made this piece, like that's icky to me. Like you did not make that. A computer made that for you. Like to me saying that you are an artist because of AI is the equivalent of like commissioning an artist to make a piece for you and then saying that you made it. You know what I mean? Like people will straight up say like, "Oh, but I put in the prompt and like I described what I wanted." Like, yeah, do the same thing to an artist and you'll probably get something better. You know what I mean? Like yeah, so like straight up, you're basically taking ownership of something that you did not make. It's like if you told an artist to make you something and you're like, "Oh, thank you. I made this, everybody. Look at this." Yeah. Yeah, so if you're genuinely presenting it as your own artwork, that gives me the ick. If you are using this and then like selling it for a profit, that also gives me the ick. Um for stuff like this, like I'm not doing anything with these images other than just like putting them into an article about like fantasy writing just to get people to, you know, get a vibe for what something is, you know? Like just quick little visual. It's not going anywhere, it's not doing anything. And the whole point of it is to be a placeholder. Like none of the AI art in my world is meant to be there forever. And so so all of my personal icks with it even being there is hopefully going to be what pushes me to actually make that art. That's the hope. That's the goal. One day. When I actually like have some time. It's like, oh man. I wish I had the time, like more time to do just like art for myself. And like I do. Like obviously I have time for my creative endeavors. It's just like I'm juggling like a full-time job and like an active freelance contract that I'm like working on art for. So if I'm not working, I'm at home working. You know what I mean? So, and like I'll carve out individual nights where I'm like, all right, we're not working on anything. Well, now because we're not working on anything, I'm just gonna go play some video games. And so art for myself doesn't really come out every single time. Yeah, time is the killer. I have so many things I want to invest in, and I struggle. Yeah, we are on the struggle bus together. It's like I want to do stuff. I want to be productive. I want to make the pretty things that make me happy, and sometimes I get to. You're doing great though. Oh, thank you. I am doing my best. Yes, me making the pretty things that excite me is like is me making all these little guys, all these little emotes that I'm like, they make me happy. I like making them. Oh, why would you bonk me in the middle of my little happy dance? Oh, sit up straight, stretch, and oh, feel my sternum crunch. That's one of those things that I feel like shouldn't crunch, but always does. Probably not ideal. But my goodness, would you look at the time? That was a good crunch and a good sip. I think it is time for me to perish for the evening. And of course, when I say perish, I just mean say goodbye to all you lovely beans who have tuned in to come hang out and watch my stream. Oh, I just noticed that randomly during the stream, my 20-point sub goal was reached even though no one subscribed. Tell me where that one makes sense, Twitch. But yes, it has been very lovely just hanging out, having little chats with everybody. But I think I will send all of you to one of my good friends. He is in his partner push. He is continuing to try and get all that engagement up so that he can apply to partner and get the goods. Thanks for the chill stream. Yeah, of course. Thanks for chilling in the stream. But I would love to send you guys over to Grinning Hazard, currently playing Cult of the Lamb. Grinning Hazard is an amazing human. He is someone that I know from LARP, and he is one of my closest friends, partner. Very cool human. Go hang out in the chat. Go say hi. One of the metrics that Twitch is looking for is engagement from like new viewers. So definitely just like pop in, say hello. Wish them a good stream. Drop a little lurk command, like any of that. Absolutely. Go help him out. He's awesome. He deserves partner. So yeah, my next stream is gonna be Saturday, 2 p.m. I will see you guys then. Goodbye.